What's up, Bills fans? Of course, you've been asking for a video, and I've just taken some time off YouTube for a little while. Especially since Buffalo's season's over. I still watch a lot of MMA. You guys know I do MMA videos, but I haven't done one of those in a while. I'm actually going to do one right after this video. And I usually do my Bills videos. And we're almost to draft time. We're, kind of in the second stage of free agency. And of course, the Buffalo Bills, you could say what you want about Albert Haynesworth and other free agents like Bart Scott and Ray Lewis, but I think the Buffalo Bills of all teams made one of the biggest acquisitions in this offseason, and you know what I'm talking about. And my God, Bills fans, how bad did us as fans need this? The permutations on every level, the field, the morale of the team, the fans, the organization, just on marketing, every level does this team need a player like this. Now, he's got baggage in terms of locker room cancer tag and whatnot, but anybody who follows football closely enough knows that the problems in the Dallas locker room ran a lot deeper than T.O. and have for a long time. Forgive me for the wonderful city I live in. It's always a fire somewhere. But, oh my God, if you think about it, last season when Buffalo's season started going awry was right after the Dolphin game. They were 5-1. They were winning that game 16-7, and Josh Reed gets hurt. And all of a sudden the team is just bottled up offensively for the next, pretty much the whole season, because he had a high ankle sprain. Robert Royal, who's been released, thank God. Derek Dockery, probably the most embarrassing contract in the organization's history, and the largest, was released. I don't know how many times he did his Olay blocking technique and let Trent Edwards get killed. Excuse me. Just once Reed went down and teams could really focus on Evans, not that they didn't already, it really started to show. Steven Johnson's a nice young receiver. I'm excited about his development. I'm excited about a guy like T.O. in there to show him how to use his size and use his ability to his advantage, because that's one thing that you've always heard about T.O. One thing is that he's a very hard worker, and then he's the kind of guy that really likes to help young receivers. That's one thing you've always heard about him. He's the kind of guy that does help young receivers. He's the kind of guy who does work hard, and a lot of people may argue this point, but Lee Evans is the best wide receiver that Terrell Owens has got to play with since his days in San Francisco. The best. You can say, who are you going to bring up? Todd Pinkston, Freddie Mitchell, Patrick Creighton? Who else is there? I don't think you could name a decent receiver that Terrell has got to play with, but Lee, and that's another thing. I think Terrell knows that Lee makes him better, as well as him making Lee better. They're two different kinds of receivers that complement each other beautifully. I think this is going to be the kind of season, Bills fans, I'm excited to see this team line up. And the thing that excites me the most is that this offseason is still young. This team's got a lot of improving to do, a lot of pieces to the puzzle. Unfortunately, guys like Jabari Greer is going to sign with another team like the Saints. We bring in Drayton Florence for a veteran presence in the secondary. Still need a linebacker. I'm really hoping hard that we can get some pass rush help in the draft. Jeff Gartenhire is our new center. Anything was an improvement over Fowler and Preston. Again, a tight end is needed. So there's still pieces that have to come into place. Hopefully Lynch can get over this latest bit of crap that he's had to deal with, and he doesn't get suspended for mini games, if any. You know, hopefully at most two. It was a misdemeanor after all, and that's all already been settled. But Terrell is a huge addition to this team, and it's going to mean a lot to the development of Trent Edwards, a lot to the development of the offense. This offense can do a lot of new things now. I'm not so pressed to have a guy like James Hardy rush back after injury. Hell, he's the kind of guy you could put on PUP till week 8. And if he comes back and is able to help the team, that's awesome. That's two extra months of recovery time for him with his knee injury. Practice and still recuperating, you know, with the size that he has. That's just another weapon for this team. I'm really excited now that a guy like Hardy doesn't have to be rushed back, that a guy like Josh Reed can play his natural position of slot receiver inside as opposed to being played outside. You know, Roscoe Parrish is a great return guy, but he's nobody's wide receiver. Not at all. He's too diminutive. From everything I've read, his routes are horrible. You know, a guy like Steven Johnson in that fourth receiver spot's lovely with his size, you know, creating mismatches on safeties. That's a nice 4 wide receiver set right there, I think. Johnson, Reed, Owens, and Evans. It just has a little ring to it, doesn't it? Just a nice little ring. I can't wait for this season, Bills fans. What was materializing as another off season. You had hope. You were, you know, grabbing at straws. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Gardenhire, you know, better than Lossman, better than, you know, this guy, that guy, but no more Robert Royal, thank God. But T.O., this team just needed this. Ever since the Flutie buzz, and then maybe even more so now with him coming to the team, who would have thought? Really? I mean, I made a joke to myself like, yeah, he'll sign with the Bills, and then, you know, I'll wake up in the next life. I guess this is the next life. And of all things, ESPN was playing the, sorry, not ESPN, NFL Network was playing the comeback game against the Oilers, and T.O. signed. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe it's a sign, Bills fans. Please let it be. Until then, you guys have a good one. Take care. We got draft coming up. Free agency still in a decent mode. Guys are still going to be signed and whatnot. There's still some decent names out there. Buffalo's, from everything I've seen, they're bringing in lots of linebackers to visit, and hopefully they can get one in there because Keith Ellison has to be replaced. There's no two ways about it. But until then, you guys have a good one. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Again, if you're a Bills fan, just tremendous excitement over this last week, and it's only going to get better once he steps out onto that practice field and OTAs and the conditioning and program and preseason and whatnot. It's just going to be great to see him in a Bills uniform playing with Lee Evans, Trent Edwards. I know we got huge excitement coming up this season, Bills fans, and I'm looking forward to it. And of course, I got my popcorn ready, so you guys take care.